What's up, guys? So I have a very special guest today. It's Alicia. She has a mental health recovery and personal development channel. She also does vlogging. She is going to share her anxiety story and some solutions, which, guys, these solutions are amazing. So please stick around towards the end of the video. There are actually a couple of things that I haven't even covered on this channel. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Alicia. Make sure that you go in the description or in the first pinned comment and send her some love and subscribe to her. Guys, I have 17,000 subscribers and there's no reason we cannot get her 100 subscribers today. So be sure to do that. Alicia, take it away.
Hi everyone, my name is Alicia. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video. And thank you so much, Trey, for giving me this opportunity to collaborate with you. It really means a lot to me. So today we're going to be talking about my anxiety story and some of the things that have helped me get over the worst of my anxiety, and hopefully these things can help you guys as well. So my anxiety actually started very early. So I was always a very, how many times am I going to say very? You guys get the point. I was nervous and anxious and a very timid kid. And the reason for this was because I grew up with an abusive mother. So she was very physically violent and also emotionally abusive and controlling of me. So living with her was really hard. I felt scared all the time. I was constantly in this state of fight or flight. Also, it didn't help that I didn't have any friends at school. Everyone thought that I was really weird. And so I'd be nervous at school because I'd think that everyone would be laughing at me and kids would pick on me sometimes. Just being not very... Basically, kids weren't very nice to me at school. So I didn't enjoy school, I didn't enjoy home, I was anxious in both. That's how my life started. So naturally, an anxious kid equals an anxious teenager, and I struggled with anxiety all the way up until, I want to say a couple of years ago. I struggled with it still really badly while I was at university, and it's only very recently that I've been able to get a handle on things and stop it from feeling so overwhelming and severe. So just to paint you a picture of how bad my anxiety was or what my symptoms were, if somebody rang my phone or knocked on my door or made any kind of noise in the house, I would jump and my heart would race and I wouldn't answer the door, and I'd be so scared to answer the door or pick up my phone that I just wouldn't. I'd just leave it. I actually remember when I was at university living in my dorm room, my friends would come and they'd knock on my door and I'd be so anxious to answer the door that I would just hide inside my room and pretend that I wasn't in, because I just couldn't deal with answering the door for some reason. I was just way too scared about God knows why. I still to this day don't know why I didn't want to answer the door. I also used to overthink things to the point where it would drive me absolutely insane. Like writing an email would take me forever. It would take me hours because I'd be like changing little words. I'd be swapping the sentences and the sentence structure and changing the grammar and just going over it again and again, because I was just so worried about what the other person on the receiving end of the email might think of me. And it just got to the point where I just felt so controlled by my anxiety. Every single minute of every day, I felt like my anxiety was running my life. So if you guys can relate to any of these things that I've been saying, then I'm really sorry. I know it sucks. I completely feel you. I have been there. But hopefully some of the things that I'm about to share with you will help you kick that anxiety in the ass. The first thing that I want to say is that anxiety is a disease of control. So what do I mean by this? So I've always wanted to help people, and there was a time in my life where I thought that the be-all and end-all was going to be if I became a doctor. I just thought that that was what I had to do with my life, and if I didn't, then my life was going to go to shit and I'd miss the train. As I was working towards getting into med school, I was getting terrible anxiety. I kept having the same kind of thoughts going over and over in my head, which were, you have to get into med school. If you don't get into med school, your life's gonna be over. What if you don't get into med school? What are you gonna do? And I didn't end up getting into med school. And I'm telling you this story because looking back on it now, med school was the wrong path for me. And it actually ended up a lot better than I ever would have imagined, actually not getting into medical school, because I ended up doing something else and I met my current partner, who I've been with for almost 3 years now, and he is honestly one of the best things that's ever happened to me, and it wouldn't have happened had I gone to med school. So the point of me telling this story is that it illustrates how we should try and let go of controlling the outcome, okay? So say for example, you really want to get a certain job, okay? And you're anxious about this job, or you're anxious because you want X person or Y person to like you. Well, the thing is, there's no point getting anxious about these things, because if you were meant to get the job, if the job was right for you, if it was a good fit for you, you would have gotten the job. And if these people were the right people for you, if they were meant to be your friend, then they would have liked you anyway. I have never once had a good friendship where it was necessary for me to worry if they liked me or not, because they always just did. And that's why they were my friend, you know? So if you guys can walk into any situation just knowing that if this is right for me and if this is meant to work out, then it will work out. And if it doesn't, then something better is waiting for me. You guys will feel so much more calm, so much more peaceful and at ease with yourself. So my next tip is to follow the fun. It is literally impossible to be laughing your head off and simultaneously be anxious. It's just not physiologically, biologically possible to be having a good time and also feel anxious. So I really encourage you guys to find a list of go-to things that will just make you break out into a really good mood, whether this be a really funny YouTuber or a song, really anything that allows you to have fun and that gets you out of here in your head and more into your body is absolutely great when it comes to getting rid of anxiety. And lastly, I want to touch on a little bit of an unconventional concept when it comes to anxiety. I believe that anxiety is your body's way of telling you to grow. Your body's natural state is peace. That's why anxiety is a disorder. You're meant to grow through this anxiety. So next time you're feeling anxious, instead of focusing on the feelings of anxiety, instead ask yourself, what is this anxiety trying to teach me? What is this anxiety trying to get me to change? So I'll give you guys an example. In my last relationship with my ex, I was constantly anxious. And it's not because it was a bad relationship by any means. He was really lovely to me and there was nothing technically wrong with the relationship other than the fact that we just weren't really right for each other anymore. And I say anymore because he was the right person for my growth at the start of our relationship, but at some point we kind of outgrew each other and we were just holding on to the relationship because we were too scared of change. We were too scared to let go of this person who was constantly there for us and who is such a big part of our life. And I think this is a very common problem. I think a lot of times we hold on to something that was once right for us but it's no longer right for us anymore, when really what we're supposed to do is to let go of those things and move on to the next thing that's going to better serve our growth. And when we're stuck in situations that aren't right for us, this is going to manifest itself in feelings of anxiety, okay? We're gonna feel like something's not quite right, okay? And it's your job to figure out what it is that you need to do so that you can move on to a better situation and something that's going to benefit you in the longer term. So that's all for today's video. I really hope that you guys found this video helpful, and thank you again to Trey for collaborating with me. If you do enjoy my content, then please feel free to head over to my channel, check it out, and hopefully I'll see you guys over there. So until next time, bye.
Alicia, wow, thank you so much for sharing that. Guys, I talk about root causes of our anxiety disorders, needing to identify those and work on that to actually in the end, hopefully cure your anxiety disorder. She identified that. It was some childhood trauma that she dealt with from her mother, being abused. And my heart goes out to you, Alicia, for dealing with that. But as you can see, she's learned how to manage and handle and conquer her anxiety. She gave us a few solutions. One in particular that hit really home to me, Alicia, was the one that you shared where you discussed how anxiety is an indicator that we are needing to grow. Like, wow, my mind was blown. Very unique way of looking at that. So guys, as you can see, she knows her stuff. She's got some awesome solutions for anxiety. Like I said, go to her channel. I'm telling you, please, if you're a fan of me, go to her channel and subscribe, okay? And then let her know that I sent you there. I have 17,000 subscribers. No reason she can't get 100 today. Let's make that happen. It's in the description in the first pinned comment. Again, Alicia, thank you so much for being a part of today's video.